you're going to learn from this video, this burn episode. Yeah, we're talking about football, but these are all life lessons. Just like you have a story that inspires you, your fire, your burn. That's why we bring you these episodes every week, to stay connected to that burn that lies inside of you. Welcome back to another episode of The Burn. I am Ben Newman, and every single week, you know how we do this, we run it back and bring you stories, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, talking about the burn that lies inside of them, that fire that ignites their why and their purpose, that causes them to take the necessary action every day in order to attack peak performance. However, some days, as you know, you just get me. There's no guest. It's one-on-one, us together. And I had to come to you this way for this week's episode because of the fact that we just finished the NFL draft. And there's so many amazing stories that go into what makes all these players great. Here's what I've come to know. I've come to know that oftentimes people see all the rings. People see Super Bowls. People see championships. People see Pro Bowls. People see recognition. And they think that makes the man. Same for female athletes in the Olympics, professional sports. You see their trophies. You see their winning. You see their recognition. You think their trophies make them who they are. Yet what you end up finding out when you ask the right questions are the stories that lie inside of the amazing individuals who have a burn inside of them that causes them to do the work where the byproduct is winning and recognition. These athletes who were just drafted into the NFL, it's the same. Their stories are absolutely amazing. I've had the blessing of working in the NFL since 2013. Had the opportunity to learn from NFL Hall of Famers, to work with Pro Bowlers, multiple Super Bowl champions. And I always love hearing their stories. Maybe it's the story of Will Compton, first player I ever had the opportunity to work with in the NFL. He was an undrafted free agent when we met. 7th out of 7 on the depth chart. Just completed his 8th season. Redskins, Tennessee Titans. Literally 7 out of 7 on the depth chart. Ended up being a captain with the Redskins. And now the voice and emotional leader in the locker room for the Tennessee Titans. What about Jerry Rice? I remember sharing the stage with Jerry, and Jerry said something to me, and you're going to learn from this video, this burn episode. Yeah, we're talking about football, but these are all life lessons. Just like you have a story that inspires you, your fire, your burn. That's why we bring you these episodes every week, to stay connected to that burn that lies inside of you. Jerry Rice, I remember when he said to me when we were in the green room before we took the stage together in Las Vegas a few years ago, I said, Jerry, what makes you great? And he said, man, you know what I've never understood? How could somebody not give 100% when it's 100% their choice? You see, he always made a choice to put in the extra work. Whether it was catching bricks as a kid, whether it was recognizing, even though he went to Mississippi Valley State, not a football powerhouse, that he had it in him to go become one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Which now takes us to a couple of amazing stories from this year's draft class. Let's start with Briley Moore from Kansas State University. I had the blessing of meeting Briley Moore after he grad transferred from Northern Iowa to Kansas State. We had 1 year together. In the middle of a COVID year, challenge, adversity, and he owned that opportunity. I learned from him so quickly that Briley is an old soul. You're actually going to see a burn episode with Briley and I. You'll get to know him really well, and you're going to find out what makes him special. But he's an old soul because he has a beautiful little boy, Malachi, an amazing fiancée, Caitlin. And he's so committed to his relationships with them. The reason why? Because of the burn that lies inside of him. Grew up in a house with a single mom who did everything that it took to make the sacrifice to provide for Briley. He went through many struggles watching his mother get beaten, watching his mother go through pain. yet she did everything to provide for her son. That has ignited a fire inside of Briley that he will do what it takes. It's why NFL teams went crazy for the combine numbers that he put up after he trained at the conclusion of his season for the combine. Briley's going to make a lot of noise in the NFL. He'll become a household name. He'll be catching footballs and blocking his ass off for a long time to come. Fueled by that burn, igniting that why and that purpose to take the necessary action, not occasionally, every damn day. How about Devontae Smith? Smitty, the Slim Reaper, the Heisman Trophy winner from Alabama. 2 national championships. He was the receiver on the 2nd and 26 play against Georgia, receiving the pass from Tua Tagovailoa, put Smitty as a true freshman on the map. And then Smitty goes on in order to win another national championship, to win the Heisman Trophy. See, those are the things that you see. But what I see is what lies in that young man's heart. A young man who came from Amity, Louisiana, a town of 4,500 with a median average income of $14,000. A burning desire to do everything that it would take in order to be an example for everybody in his community, and to take the gifts that God's given him, the opportunity that his parents had given him, to make the most of his opportunity. So what did you routinely see Smitty do? Give everything that he had. You know, as a student athlete, these individuals have to stay connected to their burn, and Smitty has it. But they have demanding schedules. Schoolwork, practice, the weight room, recovery, nutrition. So you think players have the opportunity to do the unrequired, like we've talked about before, the things that other people can't see, won't do, don't want to talk about, that the highest performers choose to make a priority? With the demanding schedule that Smitty had, he consciously made the choice to catch 100 balls from the jug machine every single day for 4 years. Every day. Are you doing the extra in your life? Because remember, we can all say how great we want to be, but when we have a conversation with our action, we find out how bad we really want it. Smitty weighs 170 pounds. Media says, is he big enough? Is he strong enough? You know what makes Smitty special? It's that burn. He's been blessed to have unbelievable people around him, amazing relationships with family, friends. His barber, still his mentor to this day. It's extraordinary when you hear people's stories. GQ magazine had an article I would highly recommend to everybody. You want to read an inspirational story to understand Smitty's fire. I can't go into all the details. Go read the cover story in GQ about Smitty. It's incredible. I had the opportunity to actually share my thoughts about Smitty, and one of the things that I shared, the difference for him with everybody talking all the noise, 170 pounds, and can he do this at the next level? He has an unbelievable ability to silence the noise, to drive the hard work and the preparation every single day. His mindset is so strong that he will beat you in those areas before you even experience his speed. Smitty is special. Smitty has that burn. Smitty puts in that unrequired work. And don't forget, you can't do the unrequired unless you do the required. So how important is your burn? Will Compton, Jerry Rice, Briley Moore, Devontae Smith. These are stories of football, but these are life stories. These stories may come and they're written because of their ability to do extraordinary things with this football. But what I recognize in hearing their burn is it should ignite your burn on a more significant level. It provides an example that maybe you can give more. Are you consistently connecting to your burn? Or are you just saying that you think it might be something important to do? Because if you haven't, try consistently connecting to it and watch what happens to your action. Because at the end of the day, all these players that we just saw drafted, there's somebody that's provided perspective for them. Briley's mom, Smitty's parents and his background. That there's perspective of somebody that's taken that ball, that's passed it into their hands, It's now their opportunity to continue to be an example for somebody else. What will people say about your burn? What will people say about how you showed up? What will people say about how you take advantage of the opportunity to hold whatever your proverbial football looks like in your life as you write your story before you pass it on to the next generation? Share this special episode with somebody who needs to hear it. Share this episode with somebody who's been waiting on the sidelines just to see what's going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty in this world, but I'm certain that God has given you everything that you need. Go take it every single day. Do the required, do the unrequired, and go write one hell of a story. Thank you for continuing to spend time with us each and every single week for The Burn. Share this episode, and don't forget to make sure to grab our free course on a prize fighter day to help you design, once you connect to your burn, what it looks like to win every single day.